What's up guys, Hanif here, and in this video I'm going to be editing and color grading this image right here. And this is just kind of like a chill color grading session where I just show you guys some of my process again, show you guys how to get certain green tones, a little vintage saturated tones, you know the vibe, you know what I'm saying. Before I continue this video, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on my notifications, and let's get on with it. So right here, before I continue with this, as you can see, these are some of my presets. Oh, this is really beautiful. These are some of my presets from my new preset pack. These are 30 presets for dark skin. Like I think we can just be done with it and move on with it, because these tones are really, this preset works really great with this. I really love the tones here. But we are not here to use a preset pack, but you can also get my preset pack. You can get that link in the description below. So let's move on to the main color grade for this. So I'm just going to reset this, and we're just going to do a new color grade from scratch. I might provide this color grade that I did right here for free, so you can just wait for that and you can check it out. So right here, we're going to start with adjusting the shadows a bit. As you can see, the highlights are already kind of blown out on our face. I just want to reduce that a bit. We shouldn't add much contrast, we should just reduce the contrast in this case. It's kind of like a bit much already, so just move the contrast since it already looks kind of contrasty already. So, and then exposure, just increase it a little bit. So this is kind of like the base of this image right here. And to be honest, I don't really know where I'm going with this image yet, but we shall get there and we shall see how great it comes out. So I'm going to increase the temperature a bit, and why I do that is most of the time when working with dark skin tones especially, I want to increase the temperature a little bit because it works great and it kind of like brings out the brownness of the skin better, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to leave the blacks. I just want to make this image kind of like flat. As you can see, the original looks a little bit too contrasty, so I'm getting rid of that and making it more flat. So moving on, I usually increase my clarity by a little bit, like 5, to add that little bit of sharpness on the image. And then my saturation, I reduce it by a little bit first, and then increase my vibrance a bit. So moving on to tone curve, this is like where most of the major adjustments are achieved. So right here I'm just going to add some points here. Add a little bit of fade in the shadows, to lift those blacks. A little bit of contrast, but just kind of like a little bit of an adjustment here, and then my mid-tones and bring my highlights down a bit. So as you can see, this image is already looking really great compared to original. The colors are not too contrasty anymore. It's looking really great. I'm really liking how this image is turning so far. So this is kind of like the main adjustments on this image, trying to make everything come together. So right there, we're just going to go over to our RGB channel. So we're going to go over the red. Most of the time when working with images, I usually just go over my red and blue. And what I usually do with my red, if you're very familiar with my channel, you know that I like cooling down my reds here and adding a little bit of red to the skin. And if you remember from following my tutorial, if you remember, your skin is a combination of red, yellows, and kind of like orange. Orange is a combination of red and yellow. So playing with your red and yellows always affects how your skin turns out. So it can always be a method to add colors to the skin tone. So if you bring this up, you'll be adding red to the image, a little bit of red, but I don't want so much. I might leave this a bit. Let's leave this at the original. Let's not do too much there. Let's leave the original there. Let's not do too much there. So let's just move over to our blue channel, because my red channel, we'll go back to our red channel, but let's just add yeah, you can see what has been done there. Add a little bit of red to the shadows, bring the mid-tones up, and then just leave it somewhere around there. So this is before and after tone curve. I'm giving that, we're adding that color grade right here, and I'm loving how it's coming out so far. And then for the red, move on to the highlights. We click here. Let's just make sure all of this is at the middle. And then on your red channel, want to bring down that red a little bit, so add a little bit of blues to the highlights. So once you just bring that red down a bit, then we move over here. Okay, so now we are kind of done with our tone curve. So this is what we have before tone curve and after our tone curve. I really like the color grade that's coming out there so far. So let's move over to our HSL. HSL, I actually kind of play with the saturation, luminance, and everything else to kind of see how it comes out. So I'm going to desaturate most of the colors like the blues and the greens, since the greens is a little bit too much in this image, so kind of going to desaturate that. And then our yellows too. Our skin is a combination of red and yellow, so you should just make sure that we just don't desaturate that too much, and then we leave everything else as it is. So you go over to hue. I usually like to adjust the blues towards the aqua side. So I'm liking the feel that's coming out so far. So this is kind of a vintage feel already on this image. So go back to my split zone. I feel like I usually have this number in my head, and this is a secret I'm sharing to everyone, but since I mostly work with dark skin, I usually use colors for my shadows that fits the skin more, if you get what I'm saying. So right here, I'm just going to put this over at 34 and then add my saturation around 4. So if you can see this better, it kind of adds that brown to the skin. So people ask, how do you get your skin to be so brown? It's usually around the split zoning and the tone curve. So for my highlights on split zone, I usually try to find the color I like the most. So I'm trying to go for quite a different feel. I like the feel right here. Going over your cyan towards your green side, you can always get that kind of blue colors. So yeah, I'm just going to be going over and trying to see what works. So I'm fine with the colors around here, and then you can add a little bit of sharpening if you want. And then for this, I'm going to add a little bit of vignettes, kind of to bring the focus towards the image. And now if you follow me on Instagram, you can find out that I have the same image on my Instagram, but it was color graded a different way. And so this is kind of a different approach to the same image. So this is before and after. You can see how great this looks so far. So if you want, you can always add a little bit of green. And then the very last step I usually like to take is my camera calibration. It's always kind of a means of color correction. So that's why I always kind of like to play with it a bit. So I'll move my red primary down a bit, my green up, my blue towards the other side a bit. So boom, this is before and after of this image, and as you can see, this looks really nice, and I'm happy with how this comes out. So this is kind of that vintage feel and that vintage vibe to this image. So if you like this video, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the like button as well, and remember you can always get my Mega Melanin preset pack for fast, easy editing, and I will be providing this preset in the link below. I think kind of a giveaway. So I'll be providing these presets. I'll be creating a preset for this image right here and giving it away in the link below. So you can also get that on my Mega Melanin preset pack as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.